Hey guys, welcome back again. Technomentary here with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the iPad 5th generation on iOS 15 that was recently released with the iPhone 13 lineup and the 9th generation of the regular iPad. This is the regular version of the iPad, one of the cheaper model if you will, but it's not the Pro or the Mini lineup, so it generally comes in cheaper version of it, but this has been around for some time. The iPad 5th generation, if you recall, was released back in March of 2017, so it's been over 3.5 years since this been has been released. Actually 4.5 years since it's been released now, since we're in 2021. And this is a device that's been around. The iPad 4, which was the previous generation, didn't quite live up to standard because of the hardware that it had. It didn't even go past the update of iOS 10. So this being able to support on iOS 15 is a major upgrade for anyone using it. And whether this upgrade is worth it or not, we'll let you guys decide that. But you're able to upgrade it. If you haven't updated, simply go into settings and then go to general software update, and you should see the update right here. As you can see, we are updated to iPad 15 on .2 version of it. Since the release, there has been some minor fixes that Apple has released. Of course, that's going to be the case. Apple's going to release those security bugs and fixes that just come along with it. But you'll start to see some of the neat features of iOS 15 that come into play. You have more cleaner UI design of it across the board here. You have updates to some of the popular apps like Safari here. Now you have things like group tabs and being able to do much more with it that wasn't possible. So a lot more going on around Safari, which really needed a redesign of how they were doing it, as sort of was lagging behind in terms of some of the other browsers that we have looked at. You'll probably see the update to the map application as well here coming through. So that's something to note here. You're going to see traffic, as the iPad 5th generation is the older device with the A9 chipset with 2 gigs of RAM. Some of the graphics and overall performance might feel a little bit slower if you have used some of the newer devices out there, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, it just does the processing just enough. You're going to be a little bit patient compared to some of the newer devices, but doesn't mean it's going to be super slow. You're going to have things like guides, being able to share your location, and much more. We can add guides, so a lot more going on with the Maps app. Same thing with actual FaceTime as well. Now on the FaceTime application, you can now send a link to anyone, whether they have an iPhone or not, or iPad. You can simply join by clicking a link from Android, from a tablet, PC, computer, anywhere that you can have a Wi-Fi connection or a good internet connection and a browser that can open up the link. So simply you can FaceTime with anyone, if you will. There's also been some updates to the camera application. You'll probably see things like live text coming along with it. There's going to be updates to the messenger app. There's going to be now this ability to update your face emojis and a bunch of other emojis that come along with it. So that's going to be the other thing. You also notice the updates to support the Siri on it, the voice assistant on it, which is a little bit faster, smarter, if you will. That's what Apple kind of claims it, because it's not going to be able to do more processing locally on the iPad, so it doesn't have to reach out every time you say a command to the Apple server. So that's the neat feature that comes with it. You're also able to do copy and pasting across the board for images that wasn't possible, so that's going to be another multitasking feature that comes with it. Even with the app widget, now you're able to do a lot more with the app widget, which wasn't possible. You can add your own personal one, customize it, which we wish Apple had done it earlier in the other version for when they did it for the iPhone, but finally they were able to get around upgrading the iPadOS 15 with the widgets, which again is, I think, pretty neat. And because this is a 9.7-inch display, it's a pretty much a nice size for being able to do a lot more work compared to the mini size. Of course, the 9th generation, which is out, it's relatively cheap compared to some of the Pro models that we've seen that go up to in the thousands. You can do pretty much the same thing at the end of the day. Of course, the power, it's going to be slightly less and a little less superior display, but it does have a 9.7-inch display with a 2048 by 1536 pixel of it. Of course, the camera on this one isn't the greatest here. It's only a 8 megapixel camera, and then the front facing camera is a 1.2 megapixel camera. But still, when you're doing FaceTime, you're zooming and doing all of that, you can still do that. All of your popular applications are still supported, so no issues in terms of when it comes to application support. You get all of that going for it. So all of that and much more for it. We simply noticed a slight bit of lag on some of the performance we've seen, but that's was the case on the previous iOS 14 as well. It's not something new, but it's something to keep in mind because the hardware is aging, but the fact that it can still support iOS 15, again, it's pretty good for its life considering it's a 4.5-year-old device. Also to note is the battery life on this device. So the battery life on this device, it has around close to 8800 mAh battery, and so far the battery has been in steady here. When we did the upgrade here of it, we haven't seen any major drops, anything. We had it fully charged and it didn't really do much to the damage of or to damage the battery in terms of, so we don't suspect battery going to be any issues. Performance wise, of course, there's the board, it could be a little bit better in terms of the speed of it, but I don't think we have seen anything major yet. Of course, we're going to keep on updating you guys if we do see any of that happening. So a lot more going on for this device. We're going to be using this in the past couple months or so to give you guys the update. If you guys already upgraded or thinking of upgraded, put a comment in the comment section with your experience so far with this iPad 5th generation, which again is one of those devices that are being supported for couple more years, since we did expect it not to be supported, but then Apple came out being supporting it, which again is fantastic news for anyone still has this device around. It's a great device for a tablet to be used for Netflix, being able to just use all of your popular apps without having to jump on a computer, and definitely a bigger size if you have a phone definitely helps to have one of these laying around and being able to move around because it is a light device that's pretty portable as well. So there you guys have it, our update and of iOS 15 on the 5th generation of the iPad. Want to hear from you guys again. Make sure you guys leave that comment in the comment section, and if this video is helpful, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. See you guys next time.